Good morning, evening, afternoon. I'm tatocat, and welcome to my channel. Today we're playing Echoes, the Lucid9 fan game. Previously, we beat the bad guys, I guess, and then found a scary red room of death and learned about trust and non-trust, and now we're scanning for people. And yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. I went back because when I loaded, some stuff was going across the screen that I want to check out. Guess it's not doing it now. However, that doesn't stop me from speculating. Once the primary lockdown is overridden, of course. Did I imagine the red stuff? It popped up when I loaded. Maybe if I stay here for a second. No, nothing. The world must not be important. Okay. Upon entering the medium security section of the conditioning center, I find more of the same hellish display as before. Noxious fog, flickering emergency lights, and burnt bodies. The fate of these people, presumably some of the non-trusts, seems even more unfortunate. And the children don't have it any better than the adults. From the look of things, these people were locked inside crowded holding pens in place of cells, near starvation and having to sleep almost shoulder to shoulder on the concrete before the gas hit and they're left there to die. The only toilets in sight are bedpans, some knocked over, others perilously close. Those with their users being so emaciated, I doubt much would spill out if someone tripped. I also doubt any model citizen of Isamu would believe the starvation if they talked about this place. Would believe the survivors if they talked about this place. If it's even possible to get out of here alive. Even now, more methylpolonium chloride blows down through deactivated air filters in the ceiling. On the ceiling. A logical method of dispersal for whoever deployed it here. I can't blame them for wanting to put these people out of their misery, nor could I blame them if they wanted to silence these people for good. For someone who works in Intel, that's just business. But for regular people, that's exactly why the torture never ends. It's far less painful to forget that it just happened, that it just hasn't. What baffles me is why the warden wanted SSD personnel to see this instead of her own. Our presence here is a massive info hazard for her. Could she be using that to justify some future betrayal? There are better ways to see what someone can do during a tough mission. Better ways to test their willpower. Is this a test to see how many atrocities I'll tolerate for the sake of this alliance? Or is she above that? If so, this could be entertainment for her, or some biohazard, or some bizarre form of gloating. She might believe that she's immune to sensitive information being used against her. Worse still, she's probably right. Maeda continues to hold his position on the level below us. Operatives, with the exception of him and a small contingent of bodyguards, I detect no other human life signs in this facility. Maybe I read that. I notice that sometimes when I click, nothing happens. Here we go. A detailed fluid circulation map flashes onto my iris vision visor. There is an environmental control room on the same level, with an unusually high concentration of methylpolonium chloride. It appears to be spreading the compound throughout the facility. I see it. Circulating volume looks relatively constant, though. Any leads on a release site? There's a damaged plasma bomb chassis on the same level as Maeda, near a vulnerability in the facility's structure. It appears to have been detonated with a payload far below its expected yield, resulting in a fracture instead of a full explosion. Despite this, several ruptured chemical storage tanks are present inside. It is likely that the ILF wished to take this facility and the people with it in hostage by threatening to cause a cave-in. The NPC could have been concealed inside to prevent the advancement of hostile forces, or as a contingency measure were the explosive component of the bomb to fail. Makes sense. The ILF's never been shy about killing civilians. I doubt they have a reason to stop now. We should get down there as soon as we can. I agree, Operative. The final level is protected by a secondary lockdown, but DCIS has provided me with the override codes. Input them at the console on the far side of this chamber, and access should be granted to you. Wait. Hisao calls out from behind me, just as Eris and I finish overriding the lockdown. Find something? Hisao nods, pointing to a series of nearby metallic cells. Most are closed, but the open ones are barely large enough to hold a single person, lined with black stainless steel that shines like a bloodied grin as it catches the crimson glow of the emergency lighting. On the floor, there's an unnervingly clean grating over a vertical shaft, descending further than any light can reach. 3 angled blades are clustered around a telescope axle on the ceiling, forming a apparatus that looks like a halfway point between a fan and a produce sprayer. I can only hope its function is somewhat similar. These rooms match one of the descriptions I was given. Detainees were taken here for something called deprivation. Some kind of punishment, I'd wager. One of these consoles is still active. If you'll permit it, I might be able to turn it on and find out more about what happened here. Permission granted. Let me know if you find anything worth sharing. Permission denied. We came here to catch a terrorist, not to snoop around like a pair of disgruntled... Yeah, no, we're looking. Look away, Hisao. Permission granted. I've already broken 3 laws. What's some more? Let me know if you find anything worth sharing. Of course. That's a ... Hisao. Can you imagine if people really were just said that? I'd be like, ... Interesting. ... What is it? Someone left some sound files in the system. A series of logs, if I had to guess. Take a look. Well, so many options. Play log file number 1. Operations log. Detainee M-214768, day 35. Despite receiving admonishment on multiple occasions, Supervising Trust reports that M-214768 continues to display disruptive emotional behavior during primary re-education and physical conditioning, involving excessive respiration, erratic facial movement, general inattentiveness, and failure to maintain posture. Oh my, not failure to maintain posture. How rude. At 14 years old, the detainee is of sufficient age for placement in correction circle and supervising trust as per regulation by the disciplinary would nominally be permitted to mobilize available non-trust into a vector for decentralized compliance encouragement. Given the subpar bone structure and physical mass of M-214768, however, the disciplinary has ruled out DCE as a viable correctional action, as the expected injury the detainee may sustain would not meet expectations for post-correctional remediability. I can read big words. That's not even a big word. As a result, the disciplinary has elected to place M-214768 in deprivation for 24 hours, or until the detainee has ceased all problematic behavior. Like that incorrect posture. Can't even maintain it. In addition to expected down provision of biological resource, M-214768 has been fitted with a stimulus generator, which will activate to deter any behavior that is judged to not be desired. So he has what, a shock collar on him? Yeah, play log 2. I want to know what happens to M-214768. Operations log, detainee, M-214768, date 61. Since M-214768's most recent deprivation, the detainee has ceased most problematic emotional behavior. But the disciplinary has received reports from supervising trust of M-214768's failure to execute physical commands, such as daily mobilization, despite receiving the standard sleep allotment of 3 2-hour intervals. In addition, supervising trusts have reported severe underperformance by M-214768 in physical conditioning. Due to this, the disciplinary has elected to place M-214768 in deprivation for 48 hours, or until the detainee has ceased all problematic behavior. That doesn't sound like a problematic behavior. That sounds like a person who is dying. And I feel like putting them in deprivation will not make them improve. Following the most recent transfer of M-214768 to deprivation, supervising trusts have been directed to activate the detainee's stimulus generator if any undesired movements or vocalizations are detected. The disciplinary has observed the detainee's tendency to vocalize following the application of stimulus. Supervising trusts have been directed to reapply stimulus until this is no longer the case. Oh my, he not only does he have bad posture, can't work when he doesn't get sleep, and is probably starving to death and can't move physically, and now he screams when he's in pain. Oh, awful child. Supervising trusts have also been permitted to raise the strength of the stimulus if it has no effect, provided its delivered current does not exceed 100 mA, and the duration of the stimulus does not exceed 10 seconds. This poor kid. Oh no, is this his kid? Is this Maida's kid? I can't remember if he had if his surviving child was a girl or a boy. I think it was a girl, and she stole a loaf of bread, or something like that. Operations log, detainee, M-214768, day 113. 113, I don't have to say it like that. Continued infractions have forced the disciplinary to place M-214768 deprivation for a third time, for a duration not exceeding 96 hours. Following a gradual loss of functionality in the detainee's vasculature and exterior structure, the strength of the stimulus has been lowered from 100 mA to 90 mA. Oh, how generous. As of 0131 today, 001300 today. After 83 hours in deprivation, detainee M-214768 is no longer capable of maintaining the physiological and neurological functions required for continued re-education. Biomass reclamation of the detainee will be carried out by the disciplinary once final approval has been given. Well, did they fix that posture? Jesus. Oh my goodness. So basically, the kid wasn't doing so great in the first place, and they just made it worse. They're like, okay. Well, what's the point in keeping him now? So they locked some innocent kid in a box with no food or water and electrocuted him. Every time he moves too much or got a bit too loud, causing him to move too much and get a bit too loud. I was expecting worse than this from DCIS, but after hearing a description of exactly what happened, I'm still disappointed. Making that who knows how many times this week. Your reputation with Lemniscate Corporation has dropped to -10. I'm okay with that. I'm sure that's going to bite me in the ass later, but I'm fine with it. I have lots of save files. Hopefully, they won't take offense to this kind of snooping. Though I can't exactly say my optimism is present in abundance for that particular outcome. Hostiles immediately ahead. Operative. Z. Updating passive telemetry is advised. Just as we're about to enter the level below, Eris chimes in with a tactical alert. As she suggests, I run a new passive scan, which reveals a fork in the path ahead. One way leads to Maida, barricaded inside an airtight room, and the other leads to an environmental control room directly ahead of us. It also reveals 4 extra heavily armed ILF commandos standing in front of the consoles inside. Telemetry updated. Passive scans show 4 hostile infantry targets inside the EV room. Looks like they trapped themselves inside a choke point. But they don't seem to care. Their gear also looks way stronger than the stuff the jammer defenses had on. Perhaps this is Maida's personal guard. If that is the case, however, their reasons for being deployed so far away from him are beyond me. Maybe he wanted his best unit to poison the air for him. Perhaps. But the acquisition of more evidence may yet disprove your assertion. Fair point. Any idea where Hisaga ran off to? Now, Looking Glass is gone. So, what? Why are you green now? Weren't you blue before? I could have just imagined that. You know what? We're going... Because that stuff doesn't really appear in history. Text speed is going down. Apologies, operative. This is going to take a while. Operative. But, apologies, operative, but I am stay still. Apologies, operative, but I'm still unable. Apologies, operative, but I'm still unable to what? Detect. Okay, cool. Now this part. Now the looking glass is gone. Solace shirks the empty eye, while kindness burns with open arms. The tainted heart is still denied. Oh, there's no self to kill again. But just there we go. There is no self to kill. You are only a body. You're 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 only a body. There is no self to kill. Okay. Identified hostiles directly ahead. Unidentified hostiles directly ahead is what it says. Yes. Fire tracers! Don't lose them! Who can let DCIS retake the fans? We can't take DCIS to retake the fans. Oh, it's a battle. Okay, good. I'm healed. Cool. Ambush the enemy. Alright. We have hopped into another battle. I'm super close to them. I can't retreat. Can I throw something at him? I can. I can use a melee attack too. Empty hand. Molecular crit armor. Yeah. That did that do anything? It did. Cool. Oh, that didn't do anything. I guess go hold position and fire your weapon and use this weapon because it's closer. Yep, there goes my stuff. Living on the edge again. Their little thing here is so annoying. I think that probably doesn't do much. Yep. I have to say, out of all, like, my backup that I had, Misaki was the most effective. She actually did damage. He's how I can use his special attack sometimes, but he doesn't really attack on his own. Well, we'll continue this battle in the next episode.